Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of UFC 2. I played it on the PS4, it's also available on the Xbox One. Okay, so this is a sports fighting game. The extent of your story is, well, the career mode. Beyond that, there really isn't one. And that story is you start in The Ultimate Fighter, the TV show, and you work your way up into the UFC and then through the ranks. As for the sound, it's pretty good. I was a little disappointed. I did a lot of kicking in this game, kicking in the body and the head, and I never really heard that horrific slap sound that you sometimes hear in the UFC fights. You know, that one that just sounds like the hardest damn slap you've ever heard in your life kind of sound. Otherwise, the sound is good. You do get that great thud when you're punching, that just kind of grotesque, meaty sound. It's great. One other thing that was annoying was the fact that when you create a character, your character is only called by the nickname you pick for them. I do understand why they do that, but it's still just kind of obnoxious. And the thing that makes it more obnoxious is that that's true of all of the randomly generated characters, even the ones the game generates. I had a fight. That was my nickname versus the other guy's nickname, which was the exact same as mine, and that just got obnoxious. As for the controls and gameplay, the controls are actually amazing in this game. They are very tight and responsive. You're moving, you're striking, you're grappling, it all responds great. It all responds exactly how you'd want it to. Now, to bridge the gap between controls and gameplay, I have a major complaint. This game needs a super in-depth tutorial that you really just can't skip without completing. Because this game has a lot of different controls and a lot of combinations of buttons. And if you don't know them, well, then you're gonna be screwed. EA does have a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, and that's great, and there are tutorials in the game, but they do give you some brief ones, which are just completely useless and honestly very annoying. They're annoying because these brief ones don't really explain to you or show you what needs to be done in certain situations. I mean, shit, I'm still learning some of this stuff. As for the gameplay modes and whatnot, well, career mode is really the only one with any kind of story, like I said, and everything else is just kind of dumping you into a fight. There are some different types of fight, like striking only, you get the idea, but it's all fighting, and it's much more realistic. It's not like Street Fighter or something like that. It's obviously very based in MMA, and you kind of have to do it like an MMA fight. If you think you're just going to charge in, beat the crap out of your opponent, and suddenly win, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. You need to use strategy. That having been said, it really did feel like I was interacting with a UFC fight. It was pretty awesome. Like, the fights looked very good. They looked very real. I was pretty well blown away by that. Which, talking about looks, let's go into the graphics. I think this game looks really good. The licensed fighters are pretty much dead on, as close as they can be. And, well, the creative fighter mode looks pretty good as well. I didn't run into any real graphical glitches, so nothing like crazy out there. I did have a couple of weird kind of clipping moments, but nothing major. My biggest complaint is with the creative fighter mode, specifically because there's not a lot of hairstyle or beard choices. Definitely wasn't one like mine. So that always kind of bums me out a bit, but you can go into some great depth in creating their faces. At the end of the day, I was really impressed by this game. If you're a UFC or just MMA in general fan, well, this is definitely a fun game to play. It's worth buying in that situation. That having been said, if you're looking for something like DOA or Mortal Kombat, something like that, like not a realistic fighting game, this is definitely not a game for you. So in the comments below, why don't you tell me if you're a UFC fan or just an MMA fan in general. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share or subscribe. Have a good one.